Hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, guys. I'm so sorry I was not able to complete my yesterday's course. It was day 28. We are in day 29 today. I think it is because whenever there is a writing and speaking test, I don't know, something happens to me and I'm not able to, um, do it in timely manner. So yesterday I was stuck up in with some work. So let's try to complete today at least two papers from writing and speaking. We will complete the speaking part from my test video that I will show you that I have created, so that can be used by anyone on my channel. So let's go through it once and yeah. So let's complete first our.
Let's start with the speaking.
We'll go to the speaking part later. Let's currently do our task 1 and 2 for writing. So here you go. So 2 weeks ago, you bought a radio from a local branch of a known chain of shops. It did not work properly. The shop took it back and said they would repair it. You have waited a week and still not ready. See what happened and how you feel. Ask them to explain why there is a delay, and then ask them to repair the radio very quickly or supply you with a new radio. So three parts, right? So first, sir, ma'am, and all that respected, whatever it is, and then oh, I hope this finds well, and then we will write about something related to uh, think. Local branch of well-known chain. Okay, so how I will reword it is I shopped for new for brand new radio launched on launch day of considered the best in market, repu- reputed store of Zincom or something like that. Okay, as a gift to my father. Shop and then launch the gift to my father and all that stuff. See what happened the day I give it to my father, and it didn't even start, and there was and smoke from the free pack behind, and and he was devastated, 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 you know, and he was heartbroken and painful and thinking it was his fault. I sent back as it was rarely touched and angry with product and it's been more than a month. 7 minutes, I'm still writing. First paragraph, explain them why there has been delay. Would like to know the reason behind the times. So 10 minutes, 11 minutes, and I'm already okay. Questions. Did so. I'm done with the letter. Let me just proofread it once. I have 2 minutes left, but I want to go to the next part. Inspector sir, ma'am, I hope this letter finds you well. I'm painfully writing this letter to bring a critical matter in light regarding a fraud you bought recently at your franchisee. On New Year's Eve, I shopped for a brand new radio at your Kulla City branch, considering it to be the best in market, that is Incom, a highly reputed store. I, it It was a gift to my father, and the moment he switched it on, there was smoke from the battery pack behind. He was heartbroken, and I had to about it, and I had to send it back for a fix. And it's been a month since then. I'm waiting for an answer. Additionally, I would like to know the reason behind the radio still not repaired, and the cherry on top of is when I inquired at the store, I found out it was still lying around somewhere at warehouse, and there was no action taken about it. Can you please fix it at earliest? Guys, I'm out of time. Earliest, I'll provide a brand new one instead, as I may. Okay. I took 21 minutes. It is almost past time limit. I don't know. I think I have to focus more on part 2, which is consistently poor. So let's see. Uh, Start as 2. As the internet becomes more popular, newspapers are becoming a thing of past. To what extent do you agree or disagree? Decade is of new generation moving to digital age. Newspapers if we compare to books, first nature, when there was the TV era began. This is next wave of internet, as lot of content is bombarded. bombarded on. Gen Z. Newspaper has been around for centuries and can will continue be there as it cannot substitute internet, cannot substitute it in areas not having a decent connection. Yes, areas is the only source of truth for the people living there. It's been a question to reach and speaker with morning since decade and will continue to do so. Although strong as per the recent study conducted by Oxford University that from in news print media is drastically steep, but it also confirms that the once is saturated to a point will be stagnant and remain still circulation. change the lives for good. Okay, so I have 5 points written. So how the current decade Let's keep 10 minutes for review this technology. There is a newfound religion that is internet. Okay, so I have done reviewing and writing both the tasks. I hope you are with me. I was just reading silently, and let's now check quickly what is the score on both the essays. One is the letter and another one essays. Now I have my writing check open. Let's check. Okay, and drum roll. Okay, band 6. I did poor from last time, band 7, this time band 6. Relative dissatisfaction with product and the delay in repair. The tone is polite and firm, and your question area of influence. Wow. There are a few minutes. Let's see model answer. Selection was sold and blacklist. Okay, so when I used this band 9 letter, I got 7. So I don't know. just over 2 weeks. Quite unlike its predecessor, which worked level for an individual. The reviews could not even turn on the demand response. Outright switching. Not very most, but there are still no reason ultimately I chose to bring it back to your shop, and the young assistant quite sincerely apologized and explained that however I'm still waiting. Assistant department. Okay, now moving on. I think this sample helps. More time is needed to read it through. I think I also have to give speaking exams. Let's see. Moving on. I think I don't have a good vocabulary to score 9, so I don't know. 7 is what I have to rely on. Band 6 again. Okay. I tried everything, guys. I think 7 is what I may have to live with. I don't know. I need to try more. But the words actually, it's so it has become common for people to access the news electronic tradition. Okay, I will
This
start
is
now.
end of the exam too. Thank you.
Now let's move on to test 3 and test 4 for speaking 1. Let's quickly try and give some answers. Okay.
Starting exam 3 now. Speaking task 1. Talk about your favorite season.
My favorite season is monsoon. I love rain, the pleasant smell around. It's mesmerizing, and it's really, it's not cool or really hot. So in summers we have a lot of sun in my area, and winters are too cold. But rainy season is where we don't have too much precipitation, but yet it is pleasant. In mornings and evening it is splash of
What is your favorite
raindrop.
season?
My favorite season, as I already told, it is rain. It's monsoon, and that's what I love about rain. I'm waiting for next question because I already answered this question, so we don't need a gap there.
What do you like to do during this season?
During this season, mostly eating. So when there when monsoon starts, there are few festivals that are really celebrated in my area. So there are different varieties being cooked, and we call it as pakoras, which is fried vegetables kind of stuff, and then we distribute it and use it. It feels warm, and it is really good for health. So yeah, we prefer that. So yeah, I'm just waiting to start for.
How does the season make you feel?
Uh, I feel really, I enjoy that season. I'm happy most of the time. It is pleasant, and in the morning, feel more energetic towards my work. And as I said, it is not a heavy rain that I'm talking about. It is usually what I have in my area. It is not that there are puddles on the road or anything like that. It really washes off the road clean, and the
Speaking
order of
task 2. Describe a famous person you admire. Who is the person? What are they famous for? Why do you admire them? Now is the time to take notes and prepare your speech. Now start talking on the topic.
So my favorite personality is Charlie Chaplin. Uh, I think everyone knows him very well. He was a comedian in 90s era, and he did make, like, he was also a director and made a lot of movies. What I like about him is was he was really humble, and most of the movies that are really famous, he never spoke a single word in those, and still he conveyed the message and made people laugh with his act, and whatever he did, he loved his work. And he was the last kid in his family, and it was really poverty ridden. uh, yeah, it is said that he didn't even had basic necessities when he was growing up, no food, and a lot of struggle he has seen in his past life. And when he retired, he gave away all his fortune that he made while the blockbusters and while working. So he did the complete cycle of life, where he started really humble, uh, was on peak of his career, and then give away everything that he got. So that's what I love about him. His work is still being appreciated by this young generation, although there is a lot of content we can watch, but people still love him and admire his work. Where he is like, he is living, like he has uh, given the audience an audacity to understand from just from acting it out, and not a single word was needed in his complete act, and it was funny, and it is still relevant with all his and it was also socio-political messages he wanted to convey with his acts, where he gave this
Speaking task
message of.
3. Discuss the importance of environmental conservation.
So environmental conservation is really crucial with the times where global warming is prominent. We see there are drastic changes in the climate. There is glaciers being melting away day by day, and the sea level is rising. We see different kind of weather every year. Now there is no consistency in temperature, or in monsoon, or any kind of weathers we used to see from last decade is now completely changed, and there are a lot of consequences around. So we need to conserve our environment, have to plant more trees, make sure we utilize it at optimum level, rather than using the natural resources that are conventional and really harming the world, right? So we have to collectively think about it
Why is
and
it important to protect
make
the
the.
environment?
It is really important for our upcoming future generation, although we will not be there to along with them to see, but we can understand how difficult it will be once we consume everything that we are getting out of, and because of the crony capitalism and other kind of factors that are in play, government are reluctant to make them pay for whatever the resources companies are extracting, and because of that it is a violation to the complete ecosystem that we are living in, and humans should understand that we are just part of it and not owning everything, right? So to have coexistence with other creatures around us should be our priority, and making sure we make our planet. We just got this planet, and we have to make sure it is
What are some
still
ways individuals can
livable for
contribute to
raising.
environmental conservation?
Sorry,
What are
come
some
again.
ways individuals can contribute to environmental conservation?
So individuals, like on their personal level, can do a lot of things. To start with, we can just plant trees around our house, which should not be a big challenge for anyone who has who can afford it and can take care of it. If you are not living like having a space for trees, you can plant it in small pots, and make sure the plantation is really a cornerstone of environmental health, where they conserve the like soil, and then there are lot of different aspects of it. They are also they also increase in the groundwater and make our air um, clean and provide oxygen and lot of stuff. So the to start with, I think trees plantation
What
should
role
be our
should
topmost
governments and
priority.
organizations play in preserving the environment?
Organizations and governments has a huge role to play in this complete picture, because they have the kind of money it needs. They have resources to make sure they can take care of environment. It is just the willingness of they should be willing to at least first of all acknowledge that there is wrongdoing by corporate, and they are really harming the environment by their actions, and just focusing on profits and making sure they uh, they can reduce their carbon footprints and and uh, put on all the measures that can be implemented around renewable source of energy, rather than using electricity via conventional ways. They can bring in strict um
This is end of the exam
laws
3.
for them.
Thank you. Starting exam 4 now.
Okay.
Speaking task 1. Talk about your favorite type of food. What is your
So
favorite type of food?
my favorite type of food is sweets. In sweets, it is particularly gulab jamun. It's an Indian uh, cuisine, which is always taken as a dessert, and it is really like it doesn't have a strong flavor. It's coated with sugar syrup, and the balls are made out of milk and like cream, and it is like
How often do
boiled
you eat
for
it?
hours, and then it is uh, I I don't consume it regularly to cut on my calories. So maybe a week or two or twice a week is what I target, and minimize my intake of that, just for health perspective. If it was in my control, I would have eaten it twice a day. So that's what I try to keep my calories in check, and I don't consume it at large quantities. So I'm really not making like I'm not going into
Why do you like it so much?
hard to say. I think because while I was growing up, my mother used to make them for me, and it was part of my meal every Sunday, and that brings my memories back from my childhood, and that's the reason I like it. And the taste wise also, I think it is one of the favorite uh, dessert in India. So yeah, we whatever we get in abundance, we start liking
Speaking
it,
task
right?
2. Describe a memorable celebration or festival you have attended. What was the celebration or festival? Where and when did it take place? Why was it memorable for you? Now is the time to take notes and prepare your speech. Now start talking on the topic.
So I would like to describe a really a celebration close to my heart. That was my kid uh, turning one, my firstborn. He just turned one, and we wanted to celebrate it at a huge level where hundreds of guests were invited. We actually booked a marriage hall for it and wanted to have a grand celebration for my kid, and it was celebrated and decorated heavily. There was catering provided for all the guests for dinner, and there was a huge cake around 50 pounds cake was ordered, and it was grand just because it was the first child in my whole family, and we wanted to make sure it was memorable. And what makes it even special is on that day I gave a public speech on fatherhood, and like to acknowledge whatever my father did for me, and that speech was all about like how I wanted to be similar to my father, and have to be same way strong, and my kid should do like remember once he grow up he should be something I would like to be in my father's place. So that was really a memorable moment at that point of time. It is something that I wanted to pass on to my kid from generation to generation, and then to his own kid, and like that. So that is a kind of custom
Speaking task
that we
3.
established.
Discuss the impact of globalization on culture.
Because of I would say globalization and the heavy influence from West, the own culture that we had from our ancestors is getting diminished and lost in the transition. Now everything is dumbed down, and the culture is losing its touch, and everyone is set into the same bracket of globalization, and we are making sure everyone looks alike, thinks alike, and we start forgetting our own culture and get into the Western culture of it. So globalization is actually really impacting on our culture to suppress it, and maybe forgotten in next couple of years. So that's a really huge impact on our uh,
How has globalization
society.
influenced cultural diversity? What are
So, globalization, on the plus side, it also encourages the diversity where once uh, we were living in a secluded pockets of the world. Now we are traveling along and passing on all our culture to other countries. Like, for example, me, when I'm traveling to different countries, I take my culture with me, and people when interacts with me, they try to learn from what I have to bring to the table, and also learn from them their own traditions and how things work from their perspective. So it's kind of cultural blend we see uh, in this globalization era, and people getting more like when they interact with each other,
the
they are
positive and negative effects of globalization on traditional cultures?
so I think I talked about positive and negative already on both the fronts. From my perspective, the positive one is the cultural mix and the sharing of what you inherit from your past to the world. When you get a chance to travel to different parts of the world, you take your culture with you. But on contrary, what happens usually is people don't like promote their own culture, rather than think it as backward. They don't respect it, and then they try to take the others view in and try to make sure they look like them, and try to be get sophisticated enough, and in all that process they are losing touch with their own ancestral culture, and give what they are not able to provide justice to their
How can
own
societies
culture.
balance preserving their cultural heritage with embracing globalization?
So, to remedy this problem is to first acknowledge that you have a rich culture. Your ancestors, whatever you have received from them, is valuable and should be retained and made sure. Although you want to be a part of the greater good and be a global citizen, but yet you make sure you practice your own beliefs and culture, and also try to take it along with you and show them that it's like we are uh, one in diversity, rather than being just different person in the same attire. So we will have to make sure our outlook is not shied away from being
This is
seen
end
by
of
the
the
people.
exam 4. Thank you.
Thank you. So yeah, guys, I try to talk as much as possible along this video, so you can use my sample also from this video that I shared today. And thank you for staying with me. See you tomorrow.